This is the Wrestling Old Head. You have entered the portal of pro wrestling.
What the world is watching.
What a time to be alive. You've got so much going on in professional wrestling today. You've got YouTube content creators fleeing from the WWE in seemingly droves. You've got AEW Dynamite with the lowest Dynamite rating, I believe, ever. You've got Jade Cargill cut above her eye. You've got Tessa Blanchard showing up in CMLL while she's still with TNA, who's friends with are partners with the WWE, and CMLL has a partnership with AEW. You've got Andrade El Idolo bouncing from WWE back to AEW. You've got everything in an uproar over WWE's content and the way that they put out their program. And in the midst of all of this craziness, you've got WWE Crown Jewel a mere 3 weeks after WrestlePalooza. So, what are they going to talk about? Well, I was just trying to find a way to insert a Cody Rhodes quote in there, but really, what are they going to do to switch the focus back into excitement and interest in the WWE going into another Saturday night's main event that's then going into another big event, Survivor Series, War Games? So we're going to find out. We're going to talk about and break down all of the matches for WWE Crown Jewel, which will be in Perth, Australia. And we're going to break all these matches down like a shotgun. So let's get into it. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky will battle the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane. One of the most fascinating and intriguing storylines that the WWE is putting on in recent memory is that of Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky's familial split from one another, with Rhea Ripley smack dab in the middle, causing the ruckus by just attempting to be a friend of Io Sky. Asuka is essentially playing the motherly figure of Kairi Sane and Io Sky. Io Sky is playing the role of the bigger sister that is fed up but also still very much tied emotionally and essentially by family bond to Asuka. Kairi Sane, the one in the middle, the little sis, the one that is torn between the motherly figure of Asuka and the sisterly bond with Io Sky. And SmackDown in the middle is the outcast, the Rhea Ripley, who has a connection via a situation that happened to her with the Judgment Day, and how that whole family dynamic and family bond was ripped right away from her via betrayal. So now we've got Rhea Ripley, who still has yet to have a one-on-one victory over Io Sky in one-on-one competition, is now teaming with Io Sky to combat the Kabuki Warriors from a snapped Asuka and a held captive, seemingly, Kairi Sane. So will we see Kairi Sane embrace the darkness? Will she tear herself away from Asuka and move over to embrace Io Sky, which would be a huge moment? Let's talk about that. First of all, I don't think that's going to happen at Crown Jewel, but I am anticipating that eventually Kairi Sane will have enough of Asuka and move away from her and rejoin Io Sky. At that point, I see Asuka getting someone else under her wing. And looking at the vast roster of women across Evolve, NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, I'm looking at Julia. Julia is in, she's kind of like in an influx, but like in a static state a little bit with Kiana James. And it seems like she's had a halt. And I firmly feel, based on the way that they have her entrance, the way that she has catapulted to the main roster, the way that she has, that we're going to see Asuka and Julia together in some form or another. They mirror each other in many different ways. Tons of parallels, both coming from Stardom and whatnot. Even though I don't know if Asuka did a whole run with Stardom, actually. You can fact check me and leave that in the comments. But I do see a scenario where Rhea moves on to go after the Women's World Championship. Io Sky teams with Kairi Sane and battles Asuka and Julia. I envision that, but I am also a fantasy booker at heart. As far as the match goes, Rhea Ripley is in her home country of Australia, and it's shocking to me that they didn't put her in a world championship match. However, I do understand how predictable that is, and the WWE has taken a ton of criticism recently over how predictable their programming has been. So I understand why they're not pursuing that. And they have all the time in the world to go back to Australia and give Rhea Ripley that huge win in front of her hometown crowd. But she's also going to get a hometown win in this tag match in which Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, I predict, beat the Kabuki Warriors. Now, it could happen one of two ways. Like I stated before earlier, Kairi Sane can have enough of Asuka. There could be some botched interference where Kairi accidentally hits Asuka. There's a number of different ways you can go with this. But at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are going to get the win here. I love the way that they're doing this program, and I have a video that is in my channel. You can go into the videos and check it out. I put it out a few days ago, and I talk extensively about that storyline. And even though there are moments where, yes, it is very cheesy, it is very campy, not well acted, it's still captivating to me. And I see good things for this. They should capitalize on this, and they can go a lot of ways to keep the interest. And I think one of the ways to keep the interest is to have Kairi still torn between Io Sky and Asuka, and not to strip her from or rip her from Asuka right away, but also not to like send her into like evil Kairi mode just yet. Keep the dynamic where she's still torn. And I think they can stretch that out a lot longer and keep everyone in suspense about where her ties are. So I got Rhea Ripley and Io Sky getting a win here. John Cena against AJ Styles. The match we've all been waiting for, the most anticipated match in John Cena's retirement tour. This match thrown together via the internet, getting the social media engagements, finally giving the fans what they want by putting AJ Styles against John Cena. Not a whole lot of story there, but you remember when AJ Styles came in and he had the boys, the good boys of Luke Gallows and Carla Anderson by his side, kind of reuniting the Bullet Club. There was a catchphrase that AJ Styles would use all the time, and that's "beat up John Cena." So they are revisiting that very, very popular feud, and they're giving us the match that we want before John Cena retires. Not a whole lot of story other than that. Two very, very popular superstars, so I do expect a handshake, a hug. AJ Styles has also been very open about the fact that he is going to retire in 2026 from active WWE competition. So in essence, this is one of the last times we'll see AJ Styles in a WWE ring, and we are gearing close, under 5 more appearances for John Cena in the WWE. I think they're going to put on a great match. They're great dance partners. They have a lot of good chemistry together, so I have all the confidence in the world that this is going to be a great match. A lot of people are saying that Brock Lesnar is going to get involved in this match. I vehemently am against that idea, even if the WWE is thinking that. Keep Brock Lesnar away from this match. Let this match go 20 some odd minutes. End it with a handshake and a hug. An emotional moment from two WWE greats, and leave it at that. John Cena, I believe, is going to head to Survivor Series and work War Games. So let's just have them put on a great match and hug it out in the ring. I think that is the right move. I've got John Cena going over AJ Styles here. He lost against Brock Lesnar just a mere 3 weeks ago at WrestlePalooza. Let's not do anything silly and put him on a losing streak headed out of his goodbye tour. Let's give him the win here in Perth, Australia. I got John Cena going over. Stephanie Vaquer, Raw Women's World Champion, against Tiffany Stratton, SmackDown WWE Women's Champion in a Crown Jewel Championship match. That championship belt, you can project a movie on it. It's so big. I saw the contract signing and I had no idea. Was Tiffany Stratton, was Tiff wearing pumps? I had no idea she was that much taller than Stephanie Becerra. That was wild to see. That was crazy. Tiffany Stratton looked like a giant. Maybe that was the camera angle or something, but that looked wild. I think this is going to be a competitive match. Tiffany Stratton works snug. I think that's the way she's been trained coming up into the WWE development system. Stephanie Becerra is a jack of all trades, or a Jill of all trades, I guess I should say. Stephanie Becerra, they got the machine behind her. They're going to go yard. I think we get a Stephanie Becerra win here. Tiffany Stratton has been on a win streak. She hasn't lost in a long time. She's been carrying the SmackDown Women's division. I think with Becerra getting a win here, it can only benefit Becerra while not hurting Tiffany Stratton because of the role that she's had on SmackDown. And I think Becerra is crowned the Crown Jewel champion. She'll have 2 belts. And I think that is a stamp of approval and also a telling moment given the fact that they're pushing her the way that they are. So I got Becerra winning this, but not by a long shot. I'm actually kind of in between on that. But I think that's the right move, personally speaking, because Becerra is in a very competitive women's division on Raw, and you want to make sure that she is seen as a top caliber athlete. She's got wins over Io Sky now. So I would say that's the right move, and I'm going to stick with that. I also wouldn't be surprised if you see some interference from Nia Jax or even Jade Cargill here. But I think with Tiffany now, after this loss, she moves on to something like Bianca Belair or something like that. So I got Stephanie Becerra getting the win on that. And finally, for the WWE Men's Crown Jewel Championship, Cody Rhodes, SmackDown Undisputed WWE Champion, against Raw World's Heavyweight Champion, Seth friggin' Rollins. They've been telling an interesting story like this, or at least they've been doing the best that they can. Seth Rollins has yet to have a win over Cody Rhodes since his return to the WWE. He's 0-3. He needs this win, as he said as much. And Cody Rhodes is definitely in his head, but not by playing any mind games. I think it's just an internal battle that Seth Rollins is going through. However, Seth Rollins' character is the Kansas City Shuffle, essentially, right? So he'll make you think one thing, and then by the time you look that direction, he's doing something else on the other side. He did that by winning the championship against CM Punk at WrestleMania, and I believe he's doing that in this regard with Cody Rhodes. He is bringing Cody Rhodes to a false sense of security, thinking that he has the mind games over Seth Rollins. And this is the match where I believe you're going to see Brock Lesnar come out, do the deed, receive the bounty for the head of Cody Rhodes, interfere in this match, and cost Cody Rhodes the Crown Jewel Championship, giving Seth Rollins his win over Cody Rhodes, and firmly planting the War Games participants, being The Vision, Brock Lesnar, and at least one other person. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre on that. Just for a second, can you imagine a SmackDown or a Survivor Series War Games team with Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Drew McIntyre? The best of the best on the most hated side of the game. Cody Rhodes has a history with Brock Lesnar, obvious history with Seth Rollins, and then of course you've got the Vision that have been haunting him for a long time, even with a tag team win over Cody and his best bud from the legacy, Randy Orton. So then on the Survivor Series War Games side, you very well may have Randy Orton. You may have Cody Rhodes. You may have Roman Reigns. You may have CM Punk, and you may have John Cena to fill out that side. Now, originally, I thought the Usos were going to be involved, at the very least, Jey Uso. But the way that they seem to be going now, you may be able to insert Randy Orton very easily in that Jey Uso spot and have the Usos go after the tag team titles. So there's a number of different ways that they can go with this War Games match. Personally, if you ask me, I would like to see Jey Uso inserted and have Jimmy Uso on the outside, wondering why Jay's even getting involved in this War Games scenario. You got an all-star side on the fan favorite, you've got an all-star side on the most hated, and you've got one of the most anticipated War Games matches in Survivor Series WWE history right at your fingertips, ready to go and sell out $12,000 front row seats all the way to the nosebleeds that are probably $459. And that's probably on the low end. So as far as the match goes, yes, Seth Rollins gets the win here. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Brock Lesnar show up. Paul Heyman, phone a friend, brings him out. I mean, Paul Heyman basically did a favor for Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza by coming out and introducing him, okay? So a favor for a favor, and whatever the rap lyric is after that. So a favor for a favor, that's what I gave I think that was Tupac, something like that. Anyways, delving forward, that is the lineup for Crown Jewel. I would not be surprised if they add one more match to that and round it out with 6, but for Crown Jewel, I think 5 is pretty much par for course here. I think they got a really loaded SmackDown the Friday before that Crown Jewel, so they really don't need to add anything from the SmackDown side, although they could add something on the Raw side. We'll see how big they stack up the Monday Night Raw episode this Monday. But as far as that goes, this is the Crown Jewel lineup. There's a lot going on in professional wrestling, a big divide between fans alike. The war, the Civil War, is not so much happening between Dynamite and Raw, or SmackDown and Collision, or NXT and Ring of Honor, or AEW. This war that's going on is really between the fans, man, and they're getting worse and worse and worse. It doesn't matter what side that you swing on, whether you're an AEWite or a WWE Universer. It doesn't matter. What matters is professional wrestling, guys. That's at the heart of it all. And if you come to my channel and you're watching some of my content, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see me talk about a love for professional wrestling. Is it the best that it's ever been right now? Absolutely not, you guys. It's not. But they had a boom period. There is so many different moving parts. People blame TKO for the WWE slide that's going on. People are blaming Tony Khan's booking for the AEW slide that's going on. But at the heart of it all, you guys, we're using our voices the best that we can to make sure that the professional wrestling companies understand what we want in professional wrestling. So the war that's going on over social media, it does nothing. It really does nothing. AEW fans are never going to get WWE fans to understand where they're coming from as far as their love for AEW, and vice versa. The WWE fans are never going to get the AEW fans to realize what they love about WWE. It's never going to happen. So you guys are typing into the thin air, into the ether, and maybe you're getting engagement, and hopefully you're getting paid for all of this passionate tribalism that you guys are displaying. But I'm going to have a video on that coming up really soon, and I can imagine it being very controversial, but I'm going to talk about the fact that politics is getting involved in professional wrestling, and I believe that that is what is causing the biggest divide in professional wrestling. So stay tuned for that video. It should be coming out very soon. But as far as Crown Jewel goes, on paper, this looks to be another one of those sleeper hits that the WWE can produce, especially with Vaquer and Stratton and Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and the Kabuki Warriors, where I feel like the women in the WWE have been stealing the show for a while on WWE PLEs. Are they going to do it at this PLE with John Cena against AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes against Seth Rollins? That remains to be seen. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments section down below. What do you think is going to be the match of the night? What do you think of those predictions? We are very early in our predictions here for Crown Jewel. I am recording this on a Saturday night. If they do add a 5th match, I will make sure that I put in my post or in another video my predictions for that match. But as it stands, these are the 4 matches, and I'm sure they're going to add another before the end of the week. That's all I got this time, you guys. This is the Wrestling Old Head. Thank you so much for coming out to the portal of pro wrestling. Don't forget to leave a comment down below what you think of the video and what you think are the predictions from your side on Crown Jewel. Thanks for stopping by, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.